Hello everyone, good morning. Myself Mullidhar Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about what is build tool, what is Maven, what are the uses of using Maven. Let's see that. Okay. So for that one, right here we have a day 9 Maven. Here DevOps 0 to hero, and here you can see the day 9 Maven. Go here. And here you can see that I have written that what is Maven readme file. You can click this one. Before going to understanding Maven, right? First you need to be understand what is build tool. Okay. Then we can go with Maven part. What is build tool? Build tool is a software and used to automate the process of converting source code to executable application. Let's take example. I'm a developer. I have written the code. That code I can't directly deploy in the Tomcat. I can't deploy in the Kubernetes, wherever, right? I can't deploy it. What you have to do, right? First, you need to generate the executable format. Okay, you need to generate that application, convert that application source code to executable application. Example, jar, var, ER file, you need to be converted. Then only you can able to deploy. You can't deploy directly whatever you have written the code. You can't directly deploy in the Tomcat. You can't directly deploy in the Kubernetes. Okay. This particular build tool, the process include compiling, linking, packaging the code into deployable format. As I said, like Java application for jar and .exe for Windows applications. Okay, understand, right? Next one is build tools play major crucial role for software development. If you are using the example a Java-based application. Okay, and here you can see that manage dependencies. This build tool, it will be manage the dependencies. Example, if you have any external libraries and ensuring the correct versions are used. And next one is automating the repetitive task. Example, compiling the code, running the test cases, and packaging that application, whether it is jar or var, and deploying the software. Remember here, deploying the software is nothing but whatever we generated jar or var file will be stored in the remote repository. Example, will be stored it in the jar, we'll be stored it in the Nexus or JFrog artifactory. Okay. And next one, ensuring consistency. We will be standardizing build process across different environments to reduce errors. Example, in real time, we'll be having the different environments like dev, test, QA, UAT, pre-prod, prod. For all environment, will be maintain the same standardized build process only. Okay. Next one, types of build tools. There are multiple types of build tools available. Majorly, if you see here, we have three. One is Apache and Maven Gradle. Remember this Apache and it was we were using very long back, 8 to 10 years back, we were using. But currently, 99.99% of the organizations, they are not using Apache, and usually this is a Java-based build tool that uses XML configuration files for task automation. But the thing is, we are not using this one. So you don't want to worry about this Apache Ant. Okay. In case in interview level also, if they ask Apache Ant, do you have experience? You can tell no, because no, because majority of the organizations not using Apache Ant. Okay. Fine. Now you can see that Maven. Maven is most powerful, popular Java-based build automation and project management tool. Okay, using this one, right, we can simplify the dependencies management and follows convention over configuration approach. And also we have a Gradle as well. Gradle also similar to Maven only. It is a more modern and flexible build tool compared to Maven, right? It is more modern and flexible build tool supporting Java, Kotlin, Groovy, and it performance optimization, incremental builds as well. It is more useful. But the thing is, remember, compared to Maven and Gradle, in organization level, 50-50 mostly will be used. But the thing is, at least you should be aware of any one of the build tool. So my recommendation, try to learn Maven enough. And in case if you want to be know, you can go with Gradle as well to understand. Okay. Fine. Now in our case, right, we are going to discussing about Maven. Fine. Now here you can see that what is Maven. Maven is a open source build automation project management tool, majorly for this primarily used for Java-based application. Remember one thing, guys, this Maven, it is only support the Java-based applications. Okay. And here it will simplify the build process and ensure consistency across projects by managing dependencies, compiling the source code, running the test cases, and packaging the application, deploying the artifact to either Nexus or JFrog Artifactory. Here you have to remember, using this Maven, right, we can generate jar, var, er file. Jar is nothing but Java-based application, var is nothing but web application, and er is nothing but enterprise application. But when it comes to the real time, right, 99% will be generate only jar and var. Okay. I will show you later how do we generate everything. And this particular Maven was developed by Apache Software Foundation. Now it is maintained by open source under Apache license. Okay. Now here you can go to the Google and you can type it here. Maven, go up a little bit. You can type it here, Maven build tool. And here you can see that maven.apache.org. As I said, right? Maven is managed by Apache team. That's why maven.apache.org. Not only Maven, guys, even Tomcat also managing by Apache team only. Okay, this is our official website, maven.apache.org. And also here you can see that left side, download. Now you can click the download here. Now here you can see that our latest version is 3.9.9. Remember one thing, in real time, we won't be use the latest version. First thing you have to remember, guys. In real time, we won't be use the latest version. The reason depends on our application. Example, your Java-based application, Java 8, 11, 17, 21, 23 applications, depends on that one, we'll be use that Maven version. Sometimes, right, if you are using Java 8 application, if you use this Apache 3.9.9, right, it may not be support, your build jobs will be failed. Okay, your application build will be failed. That's why depends on use cases will be use it. And moreover, latest version we won't be use it. Please don't tell in interview level, we are using latest version like that. Don't tell. If you tell like that, they can easy to know, okay, this guy is not working in the real time. Just practice and applying the job. Okay. And moreover here, Maven usually will be used 3.6.3 or 3.8.3 or 4 something will be used it. Little bit older version. Okay. Clear, right? Any questions now? This part is clear. And coming to the key features. One is dependency management. Inside the Maven, we have a pom.xml. Inside the pom.xml will be defined that dependencies, whatever dependencies, right? When you do that Maven related commands, Maven will automatically download from central repository. That is, this is our central repository. Let me open this central repository. You will get some idea. Repo.maven.apache.org is the central repository. Remember here we have multiple whatever dependencies, right? Plugins, everything is available here. Okay, it will be download from here. And some of the organizations, right, instead of downloading the dependencies from central repository, what they will do, right, they will be stored it in the either Nexus or JFrog. Okay, that particular Nexus or JFrog, they will be refer inside the pom.xml. Some of the organization they will be follow like that only. Instead of depending on the particular central repository, they will be build their particular jar or var file and they will be stored it in the Nexus or JFrog Artifactory, and then that particular one they will be refer inside the pom.xml as a dependency. Okay, when they build, right, it will be fetched from that particular Nexus or JFrog Artifactory, and then it will be built. Okay, clear, right? Fine. And coming to the build life cycles, these are one of the most important. In interview level also, they will ask the questions like, what is build, can you please explain build life cycles? Here you have to remember one thing, guys. Yeah, now just I'm going to explain high level, but when it comes to that practical, right, later part I will show you how can we use build life cycles for both Java-based application and web application, so that you will get some more idea. Coming to the validate, when you use the validate command, what will happen? It will be validate your project information, everything's fine or not. And when you use the compile, right, it will be compile your source code, whatever you have written .java files, right, it will be compiled and it will be generated to .java to .class files. And then test, when you run that MVN test, it will be run that unit test cases, and unit test cases it will be run. And when you use that MVN package, right, it will be generate either jar or var er file, whatever we mention inside the pom.xml. Here you have to remember, guys, sorry guys, in earlier videos, in our demo videos, I said like verify, MVN verify is nothing but it will be verify that packages. No, it is not. What it will do, right, when you use that MVN verify, it will run unit test cases, plus if you have any integration test cases also, it will be running. When you use that MVN verify, it will be run the unit test cases plus integration tests. It will be run. Again, I'm repeating. Sorry, guys. In video, what I said, MVN verify is nothing but whatever generated jar or var file, it will be validated. That is wrong. What I'm saying here, when you use that MVN verify, it will be run unit tests plus and integration test. It will be run it. Clear, right? Fine. And when it comes to the install, right? Here you can see that it will be when you use that install whatever generated jar or var file, it will be stored in the .m2 directory. And when you use that mvn deploy, if you want to be store our jar or var ER file in the remote repository, like example, Nexus or JFrog artifact, we can use this mvn deploy. Okay. Again, I'm repeating. This is the only theory part. Later, I will show you practical so that you will get more idea. Okay. Understand, right? This is the build life cycles. And coming to that plugin and extensibility. In Maven, right, we can also integrate the plugins. We have extensibility option, like example, if you want to be compiling Java code, we can use this the Maven compiler plugin. If you want to be running the unit test cases, you can use Maven Surefire plugin. In case if you want to be deploy artifacts, deploy is nothing but if you want to be stored that whatever generated jar or file to the remote repository like Nexus or JFrog, we need to use Maven deploy plugin. Okay. Now coming to that pom.xml, inside the pom.xml, we can define project related details like name, version, description, and also if you want to be define the dependencies and their specific versions, and also plugins and their configuration, and also build and packaging instructions. How can we do that? Everything will be defined inside the pom.xml, guys. Remember one thing, Maven is depending on this pom.xml only. Whatever we define inside the pom.xml, it will be read when you are doing any Maven related commands. If it is exist, it will be execute. If it is not, it will be throw the error. Depends on whatever are not configured inside the pom.xml. Okay. Now coming to that final one, uploading artifacts to remote repositories. This is the one of the most important. We can generate whatever generated var, jar, var, ER file, right? Those things we can store it in three ways. One is Maven central repository. Maven central repository is nothing but this one. But the thing is, this particular Maven central repository, we don't have any accessibility. The reason this is managing by Apache team. So we don't have any one. Second one, Nexus artifact, we can use it. If you want to be store our artifacts, you can do that. And also JFrog artifact, if you want to be store it in the JFrog, you can do that. And here you have to remember, depends on project to project. Some of the project they may use JFrog, some of the project they may use Nexus. They will be store that particular artifacts in the either Nexus or JFrog artifact. Okay. Any questions now? Understood, right? What we discussed? We discussed what is the build tool, what are the types of build tools available, what is Maven, what are the key features, and also I have showcased that Maven official website and what is the latest version, why we won't be use the latest version in the real time, everything. And one more thing, remember guys, if some of the organizations, right, if they are using microservice application, they'll be they will be generate either jar or var file, right? They don't require to store it in the Nexus or JFrog artifact. That is optional. Some of the project, if they have a monolithic applications, okay, or if they are using microservices also, sometimes they will be store that jar or var file in the Nexus or JFrog artifact. The reason, right, if the particular jar or var file, if you have any other application, other project having a dependency, as I said, in pom.xml, we have a parent tag. There will be defined that particular parent related one. It will be fetched from either central repository or remote repository or local repository, whatever we have three different types. I will show you later. We will discuss later part. So we'll be define that one. Okay. Any questions now? Clear, right? Now we are going to discussing about how to access an EC2 instance from Windows using MobaXterm. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here you can see that I have created Windows and Linux server. So usually Linux server, how do we connect? We'll be connect either using SSH or PuTTY, right? Similar for Windows, we'll be connect using RDP. But then what is the advantage of using MobaXterm? Usually, if you want to be connect Windows server, if you have a multiple Windows servers, if you want to be connect, right, you have to open the multiple RDPs. If you want to be connect multiple Linux servers, you need to open the multiple PuTTYs, correct? See, instead of that one, what you can do, we can use the MobaXterm. Okay, so at a time, we can connect 14 servers. They are giving the free 14 so far. So we can connect up to 14 servers at a time instead of opening multiple RDPs. Example, I'm telling guys here, RDP, right? Just RDP, remote desktop connection. And this is the one thing. In case if you want to be connect another one, right? Again, you have to give it RDP like this. If you see here you need to open the two terminals, right? So instead of that one, what you can do, when you use that MobaXterm, we can connect at a time 14 servers. 14, either Windows or Linux, up to 14. Okay, clear, right? But then what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to install the MobaXterm and then I can show you what are the advantages you will be understood. Okay, example for Linux server. Here we created Amazon Linux 2023 and we have created in the public subnet. So that's why it is generated the public API. And here you have to remember guys, whether it is Windows or Linux, whatever, right? In real time, most of the servers in the private only. It should not be in the public. So maybe ask question like, Murli, if it is the private, how can we connect? We will be connect using client VPN. Example, AWS client VPN, Cisco, some other things also available. Okay, here you have to remember guys. Okay, understand that. In case if you are not aware like client VPN related, I already published in our course in the networking concept, AWS networking 0 to hero. Please have a look so that you will get some idea. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do here, just copy this public IP and then usually what we'll do, we will be connect using SSH or putty command. SSH-I info dot pem and user this one. Now you can click enter so that it will be connect to the particular Linux server. Now you have connected, right? Fine. Instead of using SSH or putty, through MobaXterm we can connect directly. Okay. For that one, you can go here, go to the Google, and then you can type it here, MobaXterm download for Windows. Just click this one, and here you can see that MobaXterm related. Just click this one, and then go here, and here you can see that MobaXterm installer 24.4 and also MobaXterm portable 24. Latest version is 25, but in our case, right, we are going to install the previous stable version. So here I'm going to download our installer one. Just click this one. Now here it is downloading. Now go to the download folder so that you will get some idea. Just enter and still it is downloading. Usually the size is, let me check it, enter. So it is going on. Wait for a few seconds. Usually, I think it is 200 MB. Let me check it. And here you can see that 40 MB, not the 200 MB, 40 MB. Still it is downloading. Wait for a few seconds so that once it is done, we can check it here. Okay. Understand, right? First, we need to be download the zip file and then we need to be install the MobaXterm in our Windows. And then from there, we can connect to the whether it is Linux or Windows. Okay. Wait for a few seconds. Yeah, zip file is completed, downloaded. Now I'm going to extract it, right click, extract all, and then you can extract this one. Now if you see here we have that installer one. Just what you have to do, we need to install this particular MobaXterm. Just double click this one. It will be open the prompt and then you can click next, accept, next. Remember, not only this MobaXterm, any other tools also will be automatically download in the C drive program files only. Okay, now you can click next, install. Now if you see here, it is installing. It is asking yes or no option. Just click the yes button so that it will be installed and just copy that all the files in the C drive program files. Okay, wait for a few seconds. Okay, now installation is completed. Just click the finish one. Click the finish. Now here you can go to that search box and then you can type it here, MobaXterm. Okay, now here it is install MobaXterm, and then here you can open this, and this is our MobaXterm terminal. Now what you have to do, we need to connect either Windows, Linux, SFTP, FTP, everything it will be support here. If you go to the session, and here you can see that SSH for Linux related server, for RDP for Windows, FTP for SFTP. If you want, everything it will be support guys. S3 also. Okay, remember single tool. Using this particular MobaXterm single tool, we can access anything, Windows, Linux, FTP, SFTP, some other things also it is supporting. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, just click the SSH. First, I'm going to show you for Linux and then I will show you for Windows as well. Just click the SSH and here it is asking the host name. What is the host name? You need to provide either public or private IP. If you go here, I'm going to give the public IP, copy this one, and then here you can give that public IP, and then here it is asking the specify username. Select this one, specify username, and here it is asking what is the username. In our case, our Linux server is Amazon Linux 2023. The username is ec2-user. Okay, and then go to the advanced settings, and here we need to upload our private key. Select this one, and here you have to remember MobaXterm, it will be support both PEM file and PPK file. Usually when you trying to connect using putty, right, you should be convert from PEM to PPK, correct? But in our case here, we can directly upload either PEM or PPK. Okay, now you can click browse, and then here we need to browse that particular one. What is that? Infra. And here you can see that infra.pem, select this one, open. Okay, now here you can go to that bookmark settings, and here I'm giving that Linux server. Okay, remember if you give this session name, right, in left side it will be visible the specific server name. Okay, now you can click this one, and here you can see that Linux server. Now if you observe here, I'm able to connect using putty. Okay, now I have connected. Okay, awesome. Linux part is clear, right? In case if you want to connect another Linux server, just go here SSH and give the host name and username, and then go to the settings and then upload the particular one and give the bookmark that specific session name. Okay, understand, right? Linux part is clear, right? Any questions? Now we can go with Windows part. Go to the session, select the RDP. Usually in Linux, Windows will be go here. Before going to MobaXterm, I will show you remote desktop connection, and then here it is asking that IP. Just give the Windows IP. Go here, copy this Windows IP. This is our Windows IP, and then you can update here. And here you need to give it your username. Usually in the real time, right? We will be give our example Murli user password we need to enter. Okay, but in our case, right, I'm going to use the admin level because we haven't integrated with AD Active Directory for this particular Windows server. That's why I'm going to directly connect, and then go to the RDP, and then you can come down a little bit. And here we need to upload get password, and then you need to upload our PEM file. Here you need to upload PEM file, guys, not the PPK. And then here you can give it infra.pem, enter, and then you can decrypt the password. If you see here we got that username is administrator, password this one. You can directly click the public IP, or you can give the public DNS name, anything's fine. Just username is administrator, and then connect, and then password is this one. I'm going to connect I'm going to use the password as well, just enter. Now if you see here, using RDP, I'm able to connect it. In case if you want to be connect another server, right, just again, as I said earlier, again I need to open another RDP. Instead of that one, what you can do, we can use MobaXterm to connect to multiple servers at a time. Okay, now if you see here, it is connected. Just I'm going to close this one. We don't require. Now go to that this one, MobaXterm, and here you can go to the RDP, and then here you can select that remote host. What you have to do, go here, go to that either DNS name or public IP or private IP, whatever. Just example, I'm taking that my public IP here. Public IP. Let me open that, or you can give the DNS name also, fine. Just copy this one, and then you can paste here, and then here it is asking the username. What is the username? Username, you have to give it your username. Usually I'm trying to connect using administrator username. Usually in the real time we'll be connect using our user, example Murli user. Okay, now you can select this one, go here, and then you can give it here username, and then you can click OK. Now here it is asking the password. Okay, now what you have to do, just copy this password, and then you can paste here. Now you can click OK. If you see here, it is trying to connect Windows Server as well. For a Windows Server, we haven't given any session name. That's why it is taking that whatever we gave that the particular server name, right? It is just if you want to be saved with this password, you can give it yes, and if you don't record, just click the no. Example, I'm giving that yes. Okay, if you want, you can give it, just click cancel. Fine. If you see here, I have connected Linux server and I have connected Windows server as well. Okay, I hope understand this process. Any questions? Any questions? In case if you want to be connect another one, just click the session and then you can click that RDP and you can connect. Similarly, here we connected two servers, both Linux and Windows, two servers. Up to 14 servers we can connect. Up to 14 servers. Single MobaXterm, we can connect 14 servers. If you see here, this is our Windows, and then you can go here wherever you want, and then you can check it inside the server. Once you complete it, right, you can cancel it. And one more advantage of using MobaXterm, right? Now we have connected, and if you save the password, right, again you don't require to go ahead and RDP, give that host name and password. You can just double click this one, automatically it will be connect. It is just asking the password, just enter password, just you can connect it. You don't require to provide that again, that host name and username. It is already stored it here. Now if you see here, I'm trying to connect another one. In case if you want to store the password also, you can click yes, and then here you can give it password, and then you can give it the specific password, and then you can click OK. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? This is the process of using, this is the advantage of using MobaXterm. Okay, I hope understand, right? And one more thing, it is not mandatory to use MobaXterm. That is your wish. In case if you want to be connect multiple servers at a time proactively, and better to use MobaXterm instead of using individually open multiple RDPs, okay, multiple putties. Instead of that one, what I will recommend, it is MobaXterm, they are giving the free of cost. Just go ahead and use it. Just go ahead and use it, and then you will get good experience using this particular MobaXterm. Okay, some of the organizations, right, they may give that we can install any software. If they give chance to us, can install any software, right? You can use the MobaXterm. Okay, so that it will save a lot of time. You don't require to, as I said, right, we don't require to connect individually, open that multiple RDPs. If you open the multiple RDPs, right, the main problem is if you open the multiple RDPs, it will be use that, CPU and memory increase. That is one problem. Second thing is most advantage of using MobaXterm. As I said, once you saved it, right, you don't require to enter again server IP username. Just you can double click, example, Linux server, just double click, it is automatically connected because we already uploaded our compile here. Thus it is stored in the session. That's why. Okay, that is the major advantage. Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about installing Maven on Linux server. That is Amazon Linux EC2 instance. How do we install Maven? Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here we have a DevOps 0 to hero, and here we have day 9, okay, Maven, and here you can see that installation of Maven on Linux server. Okay, so here we can see that, remember one thing, guys, I have already created Amazon Linux server. That is the Maven server. Just I'm giving here Maven server. Okay, so this server t2.micro, we have created Amazon Linux 2023. Fine. Now we can go with step-by-step process so that you will get some idea. First thing, right? We need to install that Maven version. Remember one thing, in our case, I'm going to install the Maven latest version for practice purpose. But when it comes to the reality in the real time, right, we'll be having that multiple applications. Example, Java-based application, multiple versions. One is Java 8, 11, 17, 21, 23. So depends on application version, Maven version will be used. Example, if the organizations are using Java 11, they may use little bit older version of Maven. Okay, but in our case, our practice purpose, we are going to install the latest version. Before going to install it, right, first prerequisites, you should be having the root privileges, yes, and then we are going to be install the latest version 3.9.9. Now you can go to this documentation so that you will get some idea. And this is our Maven related one. And this, as I said earlier, Maven is maintaining by Apache. That's why maven.apache.org. Now you can come down, and here we can see the binaries. One is tar file, second one is zip file. Usually, any Linux server will be go with tar file only, and even you can use zip file also. That is fine. But in our case, we are going to be download this particular 3.9.9. Again, I'm repeating, guys. Our practice purpose, we are installing the latest version, but the reality in the real time will be used depends on application. Entire the project will be use the same version only. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? Fine. Now what you have to do before going to install it, right? First, we need to be install the Java. In our case, we are going to install the Java 11. So for that one, go here. First, we need to connect this particular server. Usually for connecting Linux server, right, there are two options. One is you can use the MobaXterm. Second one is you can use SSH command. Third one is you can use putty command as well. Okay, but in our case, right, I'm going to use the MobaXterm. If you are not aware MobaXterm, how can we use? Please have a look previous video so that you will get some idea. Now you can take the public IP. Again, I'm repeating guys here. Our practice purpose, we are using the public IP. But in the reality, right, mostly in real time, public IPs are very less. We always create in the private only. We'll be connect using private IP. But if you want to be connect the private IP, we require a client VPN. Okay, client VPN or Cisco, AWS client VPN or Cisco, we need to be use it. Some other also we have. Okay, now what I'm going to do, practice purpose, I have selected the public IP. Okay, now you can go here, go to the session, and then here you need to select the SSH. Remember, for Linux, you have to select the SSH. For Windows, you need to select the RDP. But in our case is Linux, right? Select this SSH. And then here you can give that remote host. Here I have given that my public IP. And here you can select the specify username. And here remember, in our case, our server is Amazon Linux 2023 or Amazon Linux 2. The username is EC2-user. What is the username? EC2-user. Okay. Now go to the advanced SSH settings and go to here, use private key. And then here we need to upload it. Remember, in our case, our IP EC2-user and we are trying to connect using PEM or PPK file. But in real time, right, if you have a username, example Murali, you can directly hit it. You don't record upload it. Directly can click OK, it will ask the password. But in our case, we have a PEM file. Using PEM file, we are connecting. So you can select this one. Select this one. Okay, now you can go here, type it our PEM file. What is the PEM file? PEM file is this one only, right? Infra PEM. Okay, now select this one. And here I'm going to open this one. Okay. And here you may ask question, Murli, when you are connecting using putty, you need to upload PPK. Okay. But when you are connecting using SSH, we are connecting PEM file. But how MobaXterm? MobaXterm, it will be support both PEM file and PPK. You can upload either anywhere. Okay. And then go to bookmarks. And here I'm giving the session name. Session name here I'm giving that Maven server. So that in left side, right, it will be display Maven server. Okay. So that we can easy to recognize. Okay. Now you can click OK. Now if you see here, this is a Maven server. Now I'm trying to connect it. Okay. Now I have connected this particular server. Now you can go to that sudo su-. Okay. Now you can go here. Now we have connected to the server. Any questions now? Any questions now? Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to install the Java 11. Now you can copy this one. Now you can run this command so that it will be install the Java 11. Let's see. Okay, wait for a few seconds. Yeah, it is installing. Yeah, Java 11 is going to be installed. Okay, clear, right? Any questions so far? No, right? Okay. Now it is installing. Okay, let me, yeah. Now you can go here. I'm checking the Java version, Java 11 version. And here you can see that Java 11, OpenJDK version 11 is we have installed. Okay, super. Here you have to remember, if you are trying to install Maven, you should be install the Java. Not only Maven, majority of the tools, right? Java is mandatory. Okay. Now this part is clear. This one is clear. Now what I'm going to do, come down and here I'm going to download that particular Apache Maven in the OPT directory. So now I'm going to OPT directory /OPT and then you can give it LL and here you can see that we have only AWS folder. Now you can go to that official website, this one, and then you can right click, copy link address, and then here you can use the duplicate command to download it. Okay, duplicate and then you can download it. Enter. Now if you see here, it is downloaded. Well, how much size? That is 77 MB. It is downloaded. Now you can give the LL command and here you can see the tar file. Now what you have to do? We need to untar it. How do we do? For that one, you can use tar-xvf, and you can give that particular name. Apache Maven. Okay, enter. Now what will happen? XVF is nothing but X is extract, V is nothing but verbose, F is nothing but file. Okay. Now you can give it here LL command, and here you can see that it is extracted. Whatever is available inside the tar file, it is extracted. This is our directory. Okay, understand that? Directory, not the director, directory. Okay, now here you can give it. This is our directory. Okay, super. Now what you have to do? Here we have a name, lengthy name, right? We need to rename it. How do we do? For that one, I'm using MV Apache Maven 2. I'm just giving that Maven. Now you can enter. You can give the LL command, and here you can see that Maven. Okay, we have renamed to Maven. Okay, any questions now? Same thing can go here. Go to the documentation. We have extracted and then we have renamed it. Okay, super. Any questions now? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain inside the Maven folder what are the options available so that you'll get some idea. Go here, go to the Maven, and then you can give the LL command, and here you can see that license related one, you can have a look. On nodes related one, you can have a look here, and read that readme file related this Maven, you can have a look here. And one of the most important, bin directory. Go to the bin directory. Inside the bin directory, we have a MVN, MVN debug. There are multiple. Here you have to remember, guys, whatever you are going to run the MVN related, Maven related command, right? It will be coming from here only. Inside the bin directory, we have a MVN. It will be read from here, and then it will be execute. If you see here, cat MVN. This is the shell script. Okay, understand, right? This is the shell script. Any questions now? This bin directory you understood, right? And this bin directory MVN debug related one. Okay, now you can come back one step. And then here you can see that config boot files. If you want to be inside the boot directory, we'll be having the boot files related to Maven. Go here, give the LL, and here you can see the jar file. That is fine. We won't be modify anything this one. Come back, and here one of the most important, config directory. Go to the config directory. Go to the config directory here, and then here you can give the LL. Here we have a one thing, that is settings.xml. This is the one of the most important, guys, setting.xml. Inside the setting.xml, we'll be provide authentication details. Example, if you are trying to push our jar or var file, as I said earlier, Maven, it will be generated the jar or var file, right? If you want to push the jar or var file to the Nexus or JFrog Artifactory, JFrog or Nexus Artifactory related settings, we need to authentication details, you need to define in the setting.xml only. Now you can enter here. Now if you see here, and then you can come down, we can see that first thing, and here you can say settings option. Inside local repository, this is our local repository, that is user, wherever the specific user is, there we have a .m2 directory, we have a repository. Okay, and then interactive mode default is true only, that is fine. And then you can come down, and plugin groups. If you want to be define any plugins related, will be declared here, but the reality we won't be, just leave it. And proxies, if you have any, in some of the organizations, right, they may use proxy related instead of directly going to the internet, right, they'll be configure proxy. If you have anything, right, we need to configure here. The reality, very rare cases, proxy will be used. Okay, fine. Now you can come down, and then here you can see that server stack. Inside the server stack, here will be defined, inside the server stack will be define our Nexus or JFrog authentication details. Later part I will show you. And then mirror related, mirrors also we won't be using, just leave it. Now you can come down a little bit. Profiles. If you want to be define any profiles here, you can do that one. Example, activation, JDK, some other things. You can do this, but we won't be using profiles as well in the real time. Active profiles also, here we can do that. These are the options available. In case if you are using, if you will be use the setting.xml, majorly for integrating Nexus or JFrog, will be declared. That authentication details will be declared in the setting.xml. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now I'm skip from this, shift colon Q explanatory. It won't be saved. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Fine. Now you can come back LL, and here you can see that lib directory. Here it is contain the libraries. Remember, not only this Maven, any tool will be having the lib directory. Inside the lib directory, it will be having the libraries related to jar file. If you see here, there are multiple jar file related to Maven. Okay, clear, super. Any questions now? Now we have downloaded, that is fine. If you see here, now we have downloaded and we have renamed it. Now I'm trying to run it the Maven related command. Let's see, MVN version. Just I'm giving MVN version. If you see here, it is throwing like MVN command not found. Okay, MVN command not found. Here you have to remember Maven related will be use MVN command only. Okay, now why command not found? The reason just you have downloaded, just you have renamed it, but you haven't declared any environment variable for specific to Maven to use. Hey, if you run this MVN command related anywhere, you can give the output, because as I said, everything it is coming from bin directory. Bin directory we have MVN, right? You can go to that location and you can run it. Example, I'm going here, Maven MVN. Sorry, Maven bin directory. And here, right, MVN version. Sorry, here also it is not giving, that is fine. Okay, so here you can see that. Now what you have to do, we need to set up the profile environment variables. If you see here, we need to define the Maven environment variables. For that one, right, inside the etc profile.d directory, I'm going to create the maven.sh file. Now you can go here, go to etc profile.d. Okay, and then here you can create a file. Here we have a multiple shell script related. Here I'm going to create the MVN, sorry, VAM maven.sh. Okay, now you can enter. VM you already ever read, insert mode, and then I'm going to define this one. Remember, here we have Apache Maven environment variables, and here Maven underscore home for Maven 1, M2 underscore home for Maven 2. Here you have to remember, guys, usually Maven 2 before versions, we were mentioning like Maven underscore home. But later Maven 2 after versions, right, we are defining that M2 underscore home. Okay, in our case, it is M2 underscore home only. The reason, tell me, the reason we are installing, we have installed that Maven 3.9.9, correct? That is a more than Maven 2, right? That's why you have to define. M2 export, we are using export. In Linux, right, we will be using export. In Windows, right, we will be using settings. Okay, and here you can see that export, and then here M2 underscore home. Where we have installed the Maven, you have to define that particular Maven path. That is /opt/Maven. In your case, if you install Maven in different location, please update here. This particular Maven related one. Okay. Now next one, export path, and here $M2 underscore home. It means whatever we exported /opt/Maven, right? It will be placed it here /bin directory. The reason, right? MVN related commands, that particular script is available in the bin directory only, right? That's why you have to define /bin. Directly you can mention like path is equal to /opt/maven/bin, that is fine. Or you can export this particular M2 underscore home, and then you can define here. Dollar means whatever we have assigned this value, it will be placed it here. Okay, /bin $path. Now what I'm going to do, just copy this one, go here, and then you can paste here. Now if you see here, okay. Now if you see here, we have defined. Now what you have to do, you need to save it. Escape, shift to WQ. W means save, Q means quit. Now if you see here, now it is created the maven.sh. Now for this one, we don't have execute permissions. We have only read write. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to provide the permissions. How do we do? chmod. I'm giving the 777 chmod 777 maven.sh. Now you can enter, and here you can see the LL, and here you can see that specific maven.sh one. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Any questions now? This part is clear, and also we have defined this one. And here now we have defined this maven.sh. Now I'm going to use MVN -- version. Okay, let's see. Now see, still we are getting that command not found only. Here you have to remember, only creating the file maven.sh and defining that environment variables, Maven related Apache environment variables inside that maven.sh, inside the etc profile.d, it won't be work. Now what you have to do, this particular whatever file, right, maven.sh file, we need to load inside the server. We need to load it. For that one, right, we can use source command. Source inside the etc profile.d, we have a maven.sh, right? We need to load this particular Maven environment configuration. Okay. Now what you can do, copy this one source command and then you can run it. Example, source and then maven.sh. Remember, I'm in the profile.d folder only. That's why directly I'm running that source maven.sh. Now you can enter. Okay, fine. Now I'm checking here mvn --- version. Let's see. Now if you see here, I'm able to get our Maven version, that is 3.9.9. What is the home directory? That is opt Maven. And what is the Java version? We have installed the 11 version. Okay. Any questions now here? Any questions now? And one more thing, sometimes, right, some of the people, when they are trying to install, right, after done that source command, everything, when you do this mvn --- version, they may not be get that Maven related one. Still, it is getting that command not found. But you may think like, hey, Murli said like here, whatever process I have followed, but still I'm not able to get that. I mean, it is still showing that mvn not command found. Okay. So then what you have to do, first thing, you can use echo command, okay, to check whether the particular /opt/maven/bin directory is there or not in the path, the specific path. Now you can give it here, echo $path. Now you can enter here. If you see here, we have a /opt/maven bin directory. You may ask question, Murli, why you have mentioned /path? If you see here, in our case, we have defined, we have exported that path, right? Path only, right? What we have to do, if you want to print that one, you can use echo command $path so that it will be displayed. Sometimes, right, this particular /opt/maven/bin directory is not exist. When you are trying to do mvn --- version, it will still throwing there like command not found. Understand, right? Now what I'm telling here, you have to remember one thing. In case if it is not visible here, try to do multiple times source command. Whatever we have a source command, right? You can run this particular source command multiple times so that it will be visible here. Okay, don't do only one time and check it. Sometimes it is not load that Maven environment variable properly. Then what you have to do, you need to run it multiple times. Again, I'm repeating, in case everything is done also, if you are not able to still, when you use the mvn --- version, you will get that command not found. Then during that time, check whether the particular bin directory path is stored in the $path is available or not. That particular /opt/maven/bin directory. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? This is the process of installation. Okay, and you have verified that you have successfully installed the Apache Maven on Amazon Linux. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to comment so that I will respond. And just we can recap what we did. We have created Amazon Linux to Amazon Linux 2023 server, and we have connected using MobaXterm. And you can connect your wish, guys. You can connect SSH or PuTTY, whatever your wish. Okay, and then here we have connected, and then we have installed the Java 11, and then we have installed that latest version. As I said, latest version we won't be using, but don't worry. Later, all the tools I will be create a separate video for you guys. What versions will be use it in the real time. When you go to the interview, just have a look that versions so that you can directly tell them, hey, we are using these are the versions. Okay, I will be prepared that video and then I will be upload. Okay, don't worry. And then here you can see that unthor it and then rename it. And then I have explained that what are the things is available in the bin directory, config directory, and also here we have a Maven environment variables. Okay, and we have provided the permissions, and then we have load that one, and we have verified that it is we can able to see the version. In case if it is not able to see the version, right? Again, try to run this source command multiple times. Sometimes, right? It is not load properly in the system. That's why when you run that mvn --- version, you may get still command not found. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about what is pom.xml. Let's see that so that you will get some idea. And here you can see that day 9 Maven, right? And here I already written what is pom.xml. Okay, and here we can see the discuss. First of all, what is POM? POM stands for Project Object Module. POM stands for Project Object Module. Remember one thing, without pom.xml, when you are running any Maven related build life cycles, it won't be work. So Maven backbone is pom.xml only. Inside the pom.xml, we'll be declare project related configuration, example dependencies, build, and test cases related plugins, goals, everything will be declared inside the pom.xml only. Okay, and when you do that anything Maven related, build life cycles, right? It will be read from pom.xml only. If exist the specific plugins, specific dependencies, it will be execute. In case if it doesn't exist, what will happen? It will be throw the error. Hey, these are the plugin is not available. These are the dependencies not available. It will be throw the error. And one more thing, remember before Maven 2, before Maven 2, the name is project.xml. After they renamed from Maven 2 and the later version, they renamed to pom.xml. Again, I'm repeating. Earlier, the file name is project.xml. Later, they renamed to pom.xml. Okay, understood, right? So here, what are the major things? Again, I'm repeating. Without pom.xml, it won't be work when you're running any Maven related commands. The reason, when you do that any Maven build life cycles, during that time, it will be read from this pom.xml only. Okay, and next one, here you can see that mandatory elements in the pom.xml. One is project tag. Okay, one is project tag. This is root element for that particular project. And inside the pom.xml, will be defined project open close tag. Like this will be defined like this. So inside this project tag, right, will be define the Maven related configuration that for specific project. Maven related configuration for the specific project. Understood, right? Next one, module version. Here you have to remember module version from Maven 2 and later versions, we need to mention that module version is 4.0.0. This is the mandatory element. Again, I'm repeating, project tag is mandatory element, and also module version also mandatory element. And next one is group ID. Group ID is nothing but the specific identifier of the specific project of group, or also organization of the project belongs to. Example, techworldwithmurali.com will be mentioned like com.techworldwithmurali. Reverse order will be mentioned. If you see here, group ID, that is com.techworldwithmurali. Understood, right? Example, if you are working in the TCS, right? com.tcs, com.xcl will be mentioned like this. Okay. Next one, artifact ID. Artifact ID is nothing but project name. Will be define the project name. Example, user-registration. Example, user-registration will be mentioned. Next one, version. Version is nothing but here will be mentioned the specific application version, the particular artifact version, whatever generated for this particular project. Example, we are mentioning here 0.0.1 snapshot. We can declare anything. Again, I'm repeating, these are the mandatory elements inside the pom.xml. One of the most important question in interview level, sometimes they will ask the question, hey Murli, inside the pom.xml, what are the mandatory fields? You have to tell. One is project tag, second one is module version, group ID, artifact ID, version. These are the mandatory fields. Apart from that, remaining dependencies, plugins, distribution management, everything, right? We can declare based on our requirement. But these fields are mandatory when you are when you have any application. Example, I said, right, we have a user-registration application, and also you can go here so that I can show you GitHub, and here you can type it user-registration. Okay, and here you can see, right, pom.xml. Understood, right? This is the artifact ID. If you go and check it also, here we can see that the specific one. Example, if you see here, artifact ID, version, and also group ID. But here you can see that packaging, it is showing the jar file, but the reality, it is not mandatory inside the pom.xml. Okay, later part I will show you what are the fields available inside the pom.xml in detail. But in this video, I want to cover what exactly pom.xml, what are the mandatory fields available. So I hope you understood this one. Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about what is settings.xml in Maven. Let's see that so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right here in the day 9, I already written that readme file. Now you can click this one and here you can discuss what is setting.xml, everything. First of all, what is setting.xml? Maven setting.xml file is used to configure Maven behavior, including local repository location, and also we can define specify that alternative remote repository servers, and also we can define that authentication credentials. Example, if you want to be stored that particular jar or war file in the Nexus or JFrog artifactory, right? We can store it inside that particular setting.xml, and also we can declare proxies, profiles, everything we can declare inside the setting.xml. Let's take example. If we have a Nexus repository, username and password can be declared inside the server tag within the setting.xml. Inside the setting.xml, we can declare. Don't worry, I will show you when it comes to the Nexus and JFrog. During that time, we will be define our Nexus and JFrog that particular authentication detail, username and password. We will be declared. And coming to that location of setting.xml, right? Usually setting.xml, we can declare two locations. One is global settings. It means like when you install the Maven, in the particular Maven, we have a config directory. There we have a setting.xml. Inside the setting.xml, we can declare that particular configuration, whatever I said earlier, providing that authentication details, everything. Next one, user specific settings. Wherever example you are in the root user, right? Inside the root user, we have a .m2 directory. There you can create the setting.xml. There are two locations. Let me show you so that you will get some idea. For that one, right? Here I have a Maven server. I already connect to the Maven server. Now first I'm going to showcase that global settings. Global settings means wherever you install the Maven. In our case, right, we have installed the Maven in the opt Maven directory. If you see here, pwd, and here you can see that I'm in the opt Maven. And if you give the ll command, here you can see that config directory. As I said here, if you go to the documentation, inside the m2 underscore home is nothing but where you install Maven. In our case is /opt/Maven and then config directory. Inside the config directory, we have a setting.xml. Here we can define our authentication details, proxy details, everything, local repository details, everything we can declare. Let me show you that. Go to that config directory and give the ll command. And then here you can see that setting.xml. Now you can go to the setting.xml. Okay. And then here you can see the profiles and also active profiles. And also, as I said, like we can define our server stack, plugins related one, everything we can declare inside the setting.xml. Okay. Especially we'll be declare example. I can show you, go up little bit. Yeah. If you see here, XML, and then here you can see that, as I said, local repository path we can declare. Default path is wherever your user .m2 /register repository we can. And also if you want to be change it, you can change this particular default repository URL, and also we interact remote default true. And also if you want, you can change it. And also here you can see the plugin groups if you want to be declare any plugins, and also proxy details if you want to be define any proxy details. Okay. Sometimes, right, some of the projects, instead of connecting directly to the internet, right, what we will do, we'll be use the proxy for security purpose. Okay. And we can define that one. And also server tag, inside the server tag only, we'll be declare our Nexus or JFrog related authentication details. Example, username and password like this will be declared. I will show you later when it comes to that Nexus and JFrog concepts. Okay. Fine. Now you can open this one. This is our global settings. Understand, right? This is applicable to all users on the system. Example, I'm in the root user, I'm in the EC2 user, everything will be applicable this particular Maven path. Okay. Any questions here so far? Now you can go to the user specific settings. User specific settings is nothing but currently where I am in, I'm in the root user. Inside the root user, first give that CD. Now if you give it pwd, where you are currently, I'm in the root directory, and you can give the ls-la. Okay, ls-la, and here you can see the .m2 directory. If you see here, .m2 directory we have, go to the .m2 directory, and there here we can see the repository. Inside the repository, we can create our setting.xml. If you see here, sorry, not the repository outside we need to define. And if you see here, give the pwd, and I'm in the root directory .m2. Inside the .m2, we can create here vam.setting.xml. Okay, here by default it won't be. If you want, you can create a vam setting.xml, and then you can define that whatever you want to be defined. Example, credentials, everything we can define in this user specific setting.xml as well. Okay, any questions understood, right? Global is nothing but wherever you install the Maven, there we have a config directory. Inside the config directory, we have a setting.xml. Okay, this part is clear. The second one is user specific settings, that is wherever, example, I log into the root user. Inside the root user, we have a .m2, and there you can create the setting.xml. Here you can define that particular Maven related specific configuration file. Next one here, most important thing, this particular global level and user specific both are optional, guys. It is not required to configure anything. The reason, when you integrate with the Jenkins, authentication details will be declared that in Jenkins only global credentials. You don't require to define in the setting.xml. Example for Nexus or JFrog, but that is both are optional. In case if both are present, example, inside the global settings, setting.xml is there, and also user specific setting.xml is there. Both are present. What will happen? The values in the user specific, that is setting.xml, .m2 directory setting.xml, override the values in the global settings, that is global setting.xml. Again, I'm repeating, user specific settings override the values in the global settings, that is slash opt m2 underscore home is nothing but slash opt slash maven slash config setting.xml. Understood, right? This is the uses of setting.xml, and also we discussed about global settings and user specific. If it is both are present, what is happen? Everything we discuss. Here you have to remember, again I'm repeating, both are optional. It is not mandatory to define. When you integrate with the Jenkins CI/CD tool, we won't be use setting.xml not much. The reason, everything credentials, everything will be declared in the Jenkins only. Okay, that is depends on use cases. Here you have to remember one thing, guys. Most of the interviewers, they will ask the question, hey Murli, how many ways we can declare the setting.xml? Well, can you please explain? Okay, we can define two ways setting.xml. One is global level, second one is that's user specific level. What is happen if both global level and user level, what will happen? Then you have to tell the values in the user specific setting.xml override the values in the global setting.xml. Clear, right? Any questions this one? I will also show you when it comes to the Nexus or JFrog. During that time, I will be define that server tag. Inside the server tag, I will be define Nexus username and password, and also JFrog related username and password. Everything I will be declare. Any questions? Now we discussed, one is what is setting.xml, locations of setting.xml, what will happen if both are present. Okay, we discussed both. Any questions now? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram, and also we have a Tech World with Murali website. In this website, I already published all the DevOps related courses: DevOps, AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, AWS networking, DevOps real-time project, and Helm. Here we have a 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year plans available. If you are planning to enroll, you can come here and enroll it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.